Welcome to this week's Christmas special of The Essential. I'm Imogen.
And I'm Gio. Let's find out what's happening this week. First up, we have a report on the National Strike Day, N30. 1.3 million people came out nationally to protect pension curbs within the public sector. It's been dubbed as the biggest public sector strike of the past decade.
We also have an exclusive interview with the former president of Pakistan, Pervez Musharraf, who gave a talk this week in Leeds.
One subway in Leeds has been nominated for 3 prestigious Oliver Food Industry Awards. We went to Guiseley to find out what makes this particular franchise better than the rest. And let's not forget the essential question and the weather too.
Now we're going over to Andy, who has more information about the recent strikes that have taken place nationally this week.
Academic staff, teachers and lecturers working today, but most of them not tomorrow. Members of the UCU and other unions in the public sector will be striking against pension cuts and more. I'm here today on Tuesday the 29th of November to see what us as students should be doing to help out in some people's opinions. Right, so Jed's here now to speak to us. Just initially, Jed, a bit of a background as to the purpose behind these strikes on November the 30th.
I mean, the strikes are about the pensions dispute, but they're also about everything that's going on, the whole austerity agenda as a whole. I mean, with pensions, they're asking, ordinary people, public sector workers, whether they're teachers, lecturers, council workers, the people who work in benefits offices, a whole host of different occupations. Basically, they're telling them you need to work till you're 68, you need to pay more and get less money out of your pension.
That's what they're meant to do. That's what they're meant to do.
And also in terms of for young people, it means that it's harder for us to get jobs. If there's 1 million young people unemployed at the moment, I know graduate unemployment's a massive issue and it's going to be growing over the coming years. Well, actually, if people could, we should be saying people should take an early retirement, retire when you're 50, and then we can have their jobs essentially.
Public sector workers are today staging a huge strike action across the country, including here in Leeds city centre, over pension pay. Education institutes, universities, schools, nursing areas, hospitals, libraries, even refuge collections have all been stopped or postponed for today, Wednesday the 30th of November, due to a strike over pensions. Under government proposals, public sector workers will pay more into their pension funds, work longer, possibly up to 67 years of age, but get less pension. Michael Gove, though, the Education Secretary, has said that this is damaging to schools and other public sectors where the funds and the requirements are needed today. School children have had to take a day off, meaning parents also had to take a day off work and lose pay up into the run-up towards Christmas. This could have a damaging effect, but today public sector workers are here to make their voice heard.
I am a teacher. I've been a teacher for the last 30 years. I think we work very hard, we work long hours, we're underpaid and overworked, and to take your pension is the final straw.
George Osborne has been saying, of course, that people shouldn't be striking today and should be in fact talking to the government more. Unison, other unions such as yourself should be more in talks rather than just having this strike day.
We've been trying to talk to them for quite some time, but their version of a good deal on the table is not exactly being honest with the British public and told them exactly what that is. It's not a fair deal and we're not accepting it. It won't speak to us on any kind of decent terms, so this is what he's going to end up with.
We need to be doing something. We need to be keeping the pressure on. It's taken a lot to organise this, but we need more of this. Maybe we need some. People talk about a general strike. I don't know if that's feasible. There isn't historically there isn't really a tradition of that, but certainly we need some sort of generalised strike action, generalised industrial action.
The argument of the government is that the current pension scheme costs too much to fund and is unsustainable. The primary reason because people are living for longer. They propose a career average salary, in that there will be a career average that people keep to for their pension payments. Some people on low or middle income payments in the public sector could, they argue, benefit from this. But on the majority, the unions disagree, saying that people will be asked to work for longer, possibly pay even more into their pension fund, but eventually get paid less.
And we are working to our contract. Our teachers are on their knees with excessive workload, while this government continues to put the funding to schools. They are determined to take us back to pre-19.
Why do you think they should be striking?
Well, my mum's a teacher and I don't find it fair because, like, they've just changed it. Like, they can't just change it when it's like, it's almost like a contract and then they can't just change it halfway through.
You don't think they should go on strike?
Because, like, the money's clearly been spent on something good for, like, our community, country, and, like, I don't know, just there's no money out there, so I don't know why they're fighting for money.
Pensions was the spark for the strikes, but actually it's about much, much more. It's about defending public services, defending the welfare state, defending pensioners and opposing all of the cuts. Today, students, pensioners, private sector workers and activists from the Occupy movement are joining strikers on picket lines and marches today. And we are here to say, actually we're calling on the TUC to name the next day, because we say, all out, stay out, we can win, we will fight, we're not going to let the Tories get away with it.
Next up, we've got Abdul, who went to see the former president of Pakistan, Pervez Musharraf.
General Pervez Musharraf, former president of Pakistan who ruled the state for almost a decade, is here to deliver a lecture at Leeds Met Uni and an exclusive interview with Leeds Student TV. Let's go in and see what he has to say. President Musharraf, welcome and thank you for joining Leeds Student TV. Thank you. We're going to start off with an easier question first, about your student life. What was Mr. Musharraf like as a student? Share some of the memories from your student life.
I wouldn't be able to say that I was a brilliant student. Well, up to class 10, that is metric in Pakistan, I think I was reasonably good. I was in the first 3 in the class, and I have a distinction of scoring 100 out of 100 in mathematics, and I was awarded a great sum of ₹35 for topping in the board in mathematics. But beyond that, I went to Form Christian College in Lahore, and I was in the boarding school, and that is where maybe I got a little astray, and I wasn't concentrating and focusing on my studies that much. I didn't do too well in studies, except that, of course, I immediately after doing my class 12, the FSC, I joined the army. But I didn't know how much one has to study in the military. So in the military, I was very good in my studies because it was focused, and you were rewarded for performing well in the academy and beyond. So I was, again, reasonably good in my studies.
Okay. Now we're going to move on to more serious political questions. For a majority of the students, all non-Pakistanis, who would have seen the Bin Laden raid in Pakistan next to a military academy in Abbottabad as a double game from Pakistani side. Mr. Musharraf, if you were in power, how would you have challenged such allegations?
Yeah, I would have, certainly, because one has to decide whether the issue is an issue of complicity, that Osama bin Laden being found in Abbottabad, is it an issue of complicity or negligence? And I certainly believe that it's an issue of negligence. Now, to prove that it is negligence, I would like to give a number of rationales. That Osama bin Laden was there, he was not using any telecommunication device, not using mobile telephones. Therefore, to know that he is there needed only human intelligence, because you can get human intelligence or technical intelligence where he is using mobile devices and we home on to. But since he was not doing that, human intelligence. Now, human intelligence means people around knowing. Now I know that most of the channels of Pakistan, television channels of Pakistan, went around interviewing people around. Not one said that they knew that Osama bin Laden is there. So therefore human intelligence, how would the ISI detachments, the intelligence detachments know that he is there? They will get it from the people around. So that was not the case. Secondly, I would say that a lot of people keep saying that this is a garrison town. If anyone knows Abbottabad, it's a tourist resort. What garrison town? Yes, indeed, this military academy is there, and there are a number of training institutions. But they are open. All tourists going to the northern areas go through Abbottabad. There are so many tourists who live in Abbottabad, who stay in Abbottabad. And it's a mix of military and civil. The training institutions are all open, people can roam around inside. So that is it's an education city, a lot of education institutions. So therefore, garrison town, the perception created in the West is that it is a walled or barbed wired garrison. No, not at all. It's an open town, it's a tourist resort. Then a lot of aspersion that this was an unusually big house. And how is it that nobody noticed it? I've seen it on television. It is not at all an unusually big house. It is an average, or slightly bigger than average house. Then people have been talking in the United States and the West that unusually high walls. I've seen that all houses in Pakistan have walls. So these walls are not at all unusually high. In the United States, people don't have any walls around their houses. In Pakistan, people do have. So these are wrong perceptions created in the media, which I think has misled people. Garrison town, huge house, high walls, nothing of the sort. That is not true. Finally, whether intelligence are not, they are not angels who know everything. After all, if you go back to 9/11, how is it that the CIA, which is the most powerful organization in the world, didn't know that there were 18 people doing training to hijack planes and take them into the World Trade Center? CIA didn't know it. And then they hijacked planes from 4 different airfields. CIA didn't know it. And in the air, they divert from the main route and they attacked the World Trade Center and the Pentagon. CIA still didn't know it. So intelligence is not some kind of people who know everything around. It was a big failure. It was a big failure, like CIA, who failed to deliver. ISI also failed. The intelligence in Pakistan failed. So it's a case of total negligence.
Okay. Over the years, Pakistan has witnessed a series of major incidents, ranging from the attacks on the Sri Lankan cricket team to the attacks in the military base in Karachi, the ethnic violence in Karachi. Even the media seems to forget about such incidents as this goes on to the past. There's no follow-up of these incidents. Mr. Musharraf, what is the way out of this dilemma? When will a normal man feel secure in Pakistan? What is the way out?
Well, there is no quick fix solution to the problem. The problem has persisted since the last about 30 years, which I'm going to speak about in the lecture that I'm giving. Since the time Soviets invaded Afghanistan in 1979, since that time we have suffered religious militancy in the area, and also with the initiation of freedom struggle in Kashmir in 1989. So from the east and the west, Pakistan has been having religious militancy in Kashmir, Mujahideen groups, and religious militancy in Afghanistan, with all that we suffered since 79. Its impact on Pakistan. And also there is extremism in certain pockets in Pakistan, religious extremism which spawns terrorism. So all this is in, and these extremists misuse the good name of our religion, Islam. They misuse some mosques and madrasas. So therefore it's a challenge. where we need to tackle extremism in our society. We need to tackle religious militancy in Afghanistan through Al-Qaeda and Taliban. So this is the issue. There is no quick fix solution. We have to persevere, but the government has to be strong. The government has to be determined to fight the extremists, to fight the terrorists, and control the extremists. So there is no quick fix solution, and I can't lay down any time frame. We'll be able to do it in 2 years, but this is the unfortunate reality.
On the BBC programme Hard Talk, you mentioned that all socio-economic indicators during your era were positive. So is a democracy under corrupt hands or military rule in the interests of Pakistani state?
In the interest of Pakistan, it has to be a democratic, elected political government. We must learn to vote correctly. The people of Pakistan must learn to vote for the right party, for the right leadership, so that a sustainable democracy is introduced in Pakistan. Not a democracy where people get elected, they don't know how to govern, they are incompetent, they are corrupt, they are nepotistic, and therefore they fail to run Pakistan well. And therefore people run to the army to save Pakistan, and army comes. So we have had enough of this. Now the situation is such that we have a dysfunctional government. Our economy is going down. We are facing terrorism and extremism. So in this situation, the answer, and we are heading towards elections now. I think the answer lies in holding elections, absolutely fair elections, under an interim government, a neutral interim government, and I would say under the supervision of the army, so that fairness is guaranteed, and let the people vote for the right party and right leadership who can deliver in governance, give good governance to Pakistan. That is the answer to the whole solution.
So that's it for today. Thank you, Mr. Musharraf, for joining our show at Leeds Student TV. It's a pleasure having you. Thank you for joining us. And that's it. And this is Abdul Karim reporting for Leeds Student Television for The Essential.
Up next, we have Nat, who's been down to the subway in Guiseley to see about their nominations for the Oliver Food Awards and to find out what this means for the local community.
This subway in Guiseley has been nominated for 3 of the prestigious Oliver Food Awards. I'm here to talk to manager Ian about why he thinks this branch is so successful. So can you tell me more about what the Oliver Awards are?
Yeah, it's run by the Yorkshire Evening Post. They've been running for about 4 or 5 years now. It's an award ceremony for excellence in service and standards in restaurants right across Yorkshire. It also includes takeaways, which is quite a novel group, and they've only done it for the last couple of years. So we've been nominated on best service, best lunch, which we're confident that we're good at, but we don't think we'll win for those. But best takeaway is something that we think we might stand a chance with.
And why do you think your franchise has been nominated rather than any of the other subway branches?
I think with us it's a sort of sense of community and, without sounding cheesy, giving something back. We're not just about come in, buy a sandwich, off you go. We do lots of projects with the local community. We do colouring competitions with local schools. We get out there, we're involved in carnivals and fetes every year. I unfortunately have to get dressed up as Subman and go out handing out freebies and stuff for the kids. On top of that, we are very proud of what we do. The staff that we have here are very confident, they're very friendly. They take the time to talk to customers and find out that everything's okay, that they're enjoying the sandwich, and we're not just slapping some fillings in a bread and just sending it out.
And what are you doing to help your local community?
We've done quite a few charity events. We had a Healthy Heart Day earlier this year in connection with Heart Research UK. We raised funds for them and did some talks and presentations on healthy eating. We're also doing a kids colouring competition at the moment. We've asked them to create a plate, so they've taken a paper plate, draw on it their favourite food, what they like to eat, and we're displaying them up in store at the moment. And the schools that win the kids get a colouring set, and then there's a top prize of £50 as a donation to the school or nursery to spend how they want. We had a networking event here last Friday, and we're generally trying to do things that bring the wider community into the store, and it's not just about what we can sell you, it's about what we can do to help you, and maybe in return they'll want to use our store long term.
Do you think this has been crucial to your success?
Yeah, the differences between myself and a lot of people in similar businesses is that they spend a lot of money on advertising and marketing. It's always about handing out flyers and promotional things, and sometimes it's not what people want. They want to know that, you know, big businesses in their town are giving something back, are doing something worthwhile. And had I spent, you know, the same amount I spent the previous year on advertising, I don't think I'd have got as much back. So I'm hoping that by doing projects like the colouring competitions that everybody benefits, not just myself.
So when do you find out the results of the awards?
The next stage is the end of January. I believe that they've already been round most of the businesses that are involved, and they're deliberating at the moment. And hopefully we should know in end of January, and then the results are out at award ceremony in Leeds at the end of February.
That's cool, there's an actual ceremony for it and everything.
Yeah, there's a big event in the centre of Leeds. All those that have got through to the next round are invited, and you never know, by the end of February I might be stood on stage holding a trophy.
So we've heard what Ian has to say, and we wish to store every success with the awards. I think they deserve to win.
Will it snow before the end of term? There's only one way to find out. Here's Dave with this week's weather.
Today there's a 60% chance of rain with highs of 7 and lows of 3. Moving into tomorrow, that rain continues along with a fresh northeasterly breeze, bringing us down to highs of 7 and lows of 2, and expect snowy showers during the night. Those snowy showers give us a chilling Friday with highs of 3 and lows of 1. Wrap up warm and stay disco.
Rehan's been around the Uni of Leeds this week to find out what people are going to be doing over the Christmas period. That can only mean one thing: this week's Essential Question.
And welcome to another episode of The Essential Question. My name is Vihan Shalaya, and we are all getting into the holiday mood. So, we want to find out what makes you think of Christmas, and what's your favorite Christmas memory. So let's just see what everybody said.
Getting the presents when I was a kid, having like stacks of presents when I was a kid every year, and then it kind of stopped.
Thank you.
Have a holly jolly Christmas.
I have a favorite Christmas memory. Just waking up on Christmas morning at 5 o'clock in the morning, waking my parents up. I've got 7 brothers and 2 sisters, and we were just sat waiting for the parents to wake up. Yeah.
Say hello to friends you know and everyone you meet.
I don't know, being at my nan's house opening Christmas presents when I was about 6.
You can see somebody waits for you. Kiss her once for me.
There's a film called Santa Claus the Movie, and I just love it. I watch it every single year. I have it on videotape.
Watch my mum get really drunk, because she never does. Quite funny.
Yeah, I don't know, getting some nice presents.
First Gear Electrics, I think. Got my first Gear Electrics as well.
When I got like Barbie everything for Christmas when I was like 5, that was brilliant.
Christmas memory. Probably opening my stocking on Christmas Day, getting good presents from my family.
case you didn't hear.
First Christmas I had that it snowed. That's pretty cool.
So, most of the people said that they loved opening presents in some form or the other, whether it was through the stockings and they're waiting for Christmas. Well, we're all waiting for Christmas, and we'll see. It'll be a very, very happy holidays to all of you. My name is Vihan Shalaya, and this has been The Essential.
Thanks for watching our Christmas special. Catch us next semester, but if you can't wait until then, watch us online at www.lstv.co.uk. And remember, if it's going on, in or around your union, it's essential.